Montanans value independence and that ability to become anything you want to become. And so I think that's why Montana values education so much, is because we value being independent and never being stuck in a rut, and that you can do anything you put your mind to it.
Montana is really at the forefront of trying to stay the way we are. We're not trying to consolidate schools. We're not trying to close regional schools anymore in education, especially in Montana. You have a wide range of where students' abilities are, and you cannot treat a kid anymore like a one-size-fits-all. We understand that we need some help from other people as well.
My name is Bob Curry. I'm Executive Director of the Montana Digital Academy at the University of Montana. Well, EdReady Montana is really a mathematic program for students. It provides an assessment of their skills and then provides them remedial resources to improve those skills so that they can move to the level of math that they desire.
What we know in K-12 education as well as in post-secondary education is that what has been called forever remedial or developmental content has not worked as planned.
Math readiness is a critical component to students' overall success in college, and we want to do everything we possibly can to promote student success. There is some sort of a correlation between student success in their math coursework and their overall success in college.
EdReady usage has grown from about 265 or so users to now almost 7,500 users at both the secondary level and the post-secondary level.
My name is Emily Hessler, and I am a 6th grade math teacher at Belgrade Middle School. Middle schoolers are crazy and busy, and they have great ideas, and it's just so fun to always be surrounded by that. What I find with a lot of my students is traditional paper pencil, it's hard to get the work done, but the online learning system gives them something they're used to with this new generation using technology.
I'm Rachel, I'm in 7th grade and I go to Belgrade Middle School. Well, EdReady is really cool because it shows you how you progress through the challenges. Math has always been a struggle for me, but I'm getting better at it. So I feel a little bit more confident this year than I did. My teacher's name is Mr. Rode, and he's helped me by doing the stuff on the board more visually because I'm a visual learner.
The idea of diagnosing each student and creating an individualized program was a real big draw to bring in here at the middle school. It's bringing a little bit of excitement to math, and you usually don't see that, especially at a middle school level, I don't think. It's creating some positive energy in the math room, for sure.
It's not something you can just set them loose on, especially at this age. You really have to still be present in the classroom, helping students when they struggle. It's not a completely teacher hands-off type program.
I think it's cool how the number system, if you get some right, you go up a number. It's kind of fun to try and get to the highest.
At the start of the year, I wasn't too happy with math, but since I started EdReady, it's become a little easier. I just like the way that the program's set up. If you don't get something right, it explains it to you and shows you how to do it. Having EdReady in high school would definitely help, I think.
To me, what EdReady is, first of all, it's an assessment. It assesses the abilities of students individually. It seems like math is one of the biggest departments where there are gaps for our students. There is a lot of poverty here. We're a Gear Up school, which if they complete Algebra 2 and then qualify in other areas, they can receive a $22,000 college grant. And so it's very important for our kids to make sure that they go as far as they can in math.
My name is Jeremiah Wegman. I'm 17. Today I completed the high-set program so I could graduate high school. I screwed around my freshman and sophomore years, so I didn't have enough credits to graduate this year. I didn't feel afraid until about 2 months ago. I had to do something to try and get my credits back because I don't want to come back. I spent about 45 minutes a day using EdReady. I passed the test, so it helped.
Anaconda, Montana used to have 2 high schools. Back when our smelter was working and we were mining copper, this town was hopping. Our high school at one time used to have 2,000 students in it, and now we're down to 300. So about 150 kids in our school are special needs, and we have to be, again, very challenging to ourselves and very systematic on how are we going to get them to want to be in our school. We like to be at the forefront of anything that's going on in Montana and even in the nation. The staff have to be reassured that it's okay to take risks and fail. And if we don't do that, we don't grow.
Working with EdReady was something I wasn't really excited about when I first started. And then the first time I did it, I actually kind of realized how much it helped. It was kind of one of those things where I just thought it was another one of like the standardized tests that the states give or something, and I thought it just wasn't really going to be helpful, but it proved to be like one of the more helpful things that we did this year. We just kind of got to see what we learned and see if we actually learned it.
So my name is Renee Bentham, and I oversee the Adult Basic Education program at the Lifelong Learning Center. We work with students who are 16 years of age and older. Often students that we see are people who didn't necessarily see themselves as college-bound. We also work with individuals who just want to improve their basic skills so that they can get a job. And we work with people who speak English as a second language.
When I was first introduced to EdReady, I had been working on a lot of math packets and books, and the math wasn't clicking. It wasn't making any sense. I was always getting frustrated. I didn't want to come back. It was just a nightmare for me. So when Renee, her and Mike introduced me to EdReady, it just broke down the components so much in a more simpler form in a way that I could relate to it, like I could understand it. I can get through math a lot easier now. Fractions has been my worst unit ever. They have been like my enemy since I was in 4th grade. Last week, me and Mike were going through a fraction unit and it clicked. I got it. And I just found like all my hard work has finally paid off.
It's really easy to get frustrated in math. You reach that dead end where you just absolutely can't see what is wanted. With EdReady, once you're done with that initial assessment, you can access, the worked examples, presentation, or the practice problems, and you can move back and forth. It allows people to kind of find their own way to study, and it's difficult for many people to engage with math.
I think if you miss a day, or even if you're not paying attention in class, or if you just get off track, then you just miss it, and then you won't know the next step, and then you won't know the next step. Life happens, you're gonna miss days, and you have to have it one thing right after another.
Nowadays, you need a piece of paper. I don't care what you can do, how smart you are, it's just the way it is right now. I have a severe case of Dupuytren's, and I couldn't do the work I was previously doing, so I decided to go back to school. I'm not ready to retire. I hadn't done factoring since freshman year in high school, nor had I used it. Everyday math I've always been really good at because I used it. I actually enjoyed EdReady. I had to work at it a bit, but I got my A, so I was all excited about that.
We're seeing more and more students who arrive at our doorstep who don't necessarily have all the tools that they need to succeed. And I think that's why we were seeing lower pass rates in our developmental classes.
The bottom line is dispelling that anxiety. A lot of students have math anxiety for various reasons, and so trying to create a new relationship with that subject matter is really key.
I always kind of loved the underdogs. Teaching developmental math is definitely like my spot, my niche. I love working with the students who don't get it naturally.
The reasons why I think this program really spoke to me and why I find it so rewarding to work in this position is just the ability to make a difference for all these students. Having a program like this that can meet their individualized need, it's very rewarding.
From those one-room schoolhouses to the largest university campuses, the whole notion in Montana of none of us claim any territory, it's all for the common good. It's just who we are in Montana.
Anytime you can help someone get their life together, get back on track, meet a challenge that they've identified, it's pretty exciting. Not all educators get that opportunity. EdReady really is something that allows us to do that, and that's why we've worked hard to secure the funding, and we've worked hard to sell the concept. Even though it's a free service to schools, people have to understand it and find out what the impact can really be.